Greetings and welcome to another exciting episode of Age of Empires Castle Siege Tutorials. I'm Dice Gods, and what I would like to do in this video is demonstrate one of my favorite attacks, which is the Martel Nevsky attack. This requires a lot more skill than the Ram Rush attack, which is one of the most popular attacks. Everyone does the Ram Rush. When you're using a Treb attack army, though, you've really got to be on top of your units, and it requires a nice combined arms force. You want to have a little more. Gosh, I can't believe I can't think of what I want to say. A greater variety of unit types. There you go. How's that sound? Anyway, and typically when I'm going with Martel and Nevsky, the army composition I want to go with is 8 Grenadiers, 4 Trebuchets, 1 Fire guy, Kirosophon, that's what they are, 2 Mamluks, 2 Knights, Teutonic Knights, 2 Rams, 6 Ladder Invaders, 4 Archers, 4 Pikemen, 6 Heavy Infantry, and 2 Raiders. The boosts I go with are Poison the Well and Advanced Scouting. I explained this in my previous video. The reason I like those is because Poison the Well has a global effect on all of the enemy units that come out of the guardhouse and the patrol points. Basically reduces them, I'm pretty sure, like almost in half. And that's really devastating. Far more effective than Reserve Force, which is one of the most popular ones I see people like to use. I don't like having a handful of units that come along after the entirety of my army is destroyed. Typically there's not a lot of time left on the clock, and you don't have any choice in what units you get. It's like they might be something you can't even do anything with. Whereas Poison the Well, if you go with that, it has an effect throughout the entirety of the battle from beginning to end, or at least until the guardhouses and patrol points are taken care of. Anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and get right to it. Oh yeah, Advanced Scouting, I've touched upon this before. Let you know where the flame fire traps are, and the engineer traps, and the caltrops, and all like that. Really the important one is the fire trap, because if you can just go ahead and set that off right at the beginning, get that out of the way, yeah, that really helps. A lot of times too, just knowing where those engineer traps are helps decide where your attack is going to take place. So anyway, with the Treb attack, what I like to do is run an infantry along the wall there, lure out any enemy units, get them away from the towers so that I can deal with them, set off these caltrops or whatever. Then once I have those, typically it's always cavalry that comes out, and grenadiers are very common. Cavalry, any mounted units, spearmen and grenadiers make really short work of them. The grenadiers that come out, I like to use the Teutonic Knights with grenadiers in support. They'll make short work of those guys as well. Then what I do is I deploy my rams, and I use them to draw fire and also spring the engineer traps, while I deploy my trebuchets in a line to start taking out the wall. Your units are going to want to try and rush in there and get killed. There's no point in letting them go in there. Try to keep them out as much as possible. It's better to go ahead and deploy Martel, as I did here, before you start deploying a large amount of your army. Then once you send Martel in, then you can start deploying your infantry with grenadiers in support. That's really effective. Now Nevsky, because of his area effect, his scorched earth, wow, he'll make short work of tower clusters like that. So send Martel in there to draw fire, keep Nevsky safe, and just have him just go ahead and take that stuff out. In the meantime, what you can do is you can use your trebuchets to start taking out more towers and creating penetration, taking out the walls and whatnot. See, Nevsky screwing around there. He didn't need to do that. But yeah, he's just seeing, he took out that whole cluster of towers. So now I'm going to send Martel in here to draw fire so that my trebuchets can take out these towers. You really want to be careful, because the emplacements, which are utterly devastating to trebuchets, which love to bunch up, by the way, you want to keep him away from the emplacement. See, cost me right there. if he gets too close to the emplacement, it won't target him. There's a huge donut hole around around those trebuchet emplacements, and if they're not targeting Martel, they will target your trebuchets. So anyways, as this battle continues here, I have my spearmen here going to take care of those incoming relief forces. Nevsky is still alive, and looks like I'm going to start using his ability on these. I don't know if he has any Scorched Earth left. He might not. Yeah, it's too bad, because otherwise he'd be really making short work of that stuff there. As you can see, I'm not worried about the keep, really. I'm mainly concentrating on taking out defenses, because that's how you're going to get those 2- and 3-star victories. Have your units draw fire, keep your trebuchets alive. Try not to have them waste a lot of time looting if you can. Concentrate mainly on taking out the defenses. I mean, almost always the keep will fall. Somebody's going to target it of their own accord without you even, doing anything about it. Oh, those engineers. Oh, there goes my treb. Where are we at? 66% here. Going to take out that. So, yeah, I mean, looks like that's probably not going to get much more than that. A few buildings here and there. In fact, relief forces are coming to... Yep, replay ends in a second here. So, anyway, yeah, we went on to get 70% nearly. Decent crown score, I guess. So yeah, again, really what you want to do is you want to make use of a combined arms force. I probably should have gone into a little greater detail about how it is that I use this combined arms force. Like I said in the beginning, I run an infantry, draw out the enemy units, then I use spearmen and grenadiers, typically against those cavalry that are coming. If they're grenadiers, I use Teutonic Knights. They're really effective. What I like to do is I like to use the archers to deal with the engineers that get sprung by my rams. And then after that, it's mainly just you deploy the rest of your infantry, you deploy your Grens in support, though I always like to hang on to like 1 or 2 for when the relief forces come, and I also like to hang on to a couple of spearmen. Spearmen with grenadiers in support make short work of pretty much any cavalry force. A couple of raiders, just you toss them in there once the battle's underway. The good thing about the raiders is not only will they loot resources, but their looting of resources means that there's less for the rest of your units to waste their time on. You really don't want your units wasting their time looting. You want to be taking out defenses. That's how you get those 2 and 3 star wins. So, but yeah, there you go. That was the Martel Nevsky Age 10 attack. And until next time. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? There was something else I wanted to say. I just realized this is my 21st episode here. I should have made a big deal about the last one being my 20th episode. I don't know why. Why not? All right. Till next time. Dice Gods signing out.